The following content is sponsored and does not necessarily reflect the views of WATD Radio. Now, Paul Ponders on 95.9 WATD. Be a part of the show. Call or text 781-837-4900. Now, here's your host, Paul Solano.
Greetings, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. I'm Paul Solano of the PS&All Marketing Group. I also wear another hat as General Manager of Pearl Street Station Restaurant up in Malden. And it really is a pleasure to be back for show number 3 in the slot of The Boiling Point with Arthur Boyle. And shout out again to Tim behind the glass, doing a wonderful job. You should have seen Tim just mastermind the staff holiday party, leading everyone in.
Mastermind? I don't know about that.
Well, okay, it was very good direction, I would say.
Thank you.
You did a really great job in getting everyone to Carol, and really just your presence is so felt here at WATD, and I thank you for doing a great job. And You're welcome. You're welcome, my friend. And a shout out to Attorney Tom Williams coming down from the Malden Medford area. I listen to WATD. The radio signal is really great up on the North Shore, as far north as, I believe, Andover. And I'll tell you, Attorney Tom Williams has the apropos proper name for his show, Sound Advice. I learned a few things. I've worked with the state planners and financial planners through the years. I even shout out to Mike McNamara, who I saw at the party, McNamara on Money. And Mike and I were actually colleagues when I had the same broker-dealer that Mike had, BITD, back in the day, as my daughters would say. But Attorney Tom Williams is just giving such sound advice, and it was really great to listen to him. And a Merry Christmas to all, as he says. And he's absolutely right. If you want to reach out to someone who you haven't spoken to in a while, please do. This is the Christmas season, holiday season. Just wish the world peace and goodwill. Now, traveling down, I will say, coming down from the area, I encountered some snow, some ice and all, but that all-important rain-snow line really is out there in the Zakin Bridge. But it's really something how there isn't really any snow down here or any sleet, freezing rain down here in the Marshfield area. And Arthur Boyle cannot be with us today. He has a family commitment. But as the executive consultant of Paul Ponders on WATD, he says you got to pay the bills first. So let's hear some commercials from our sponsors.
Have you tried Bryantville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857. Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Benekeset Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
We are back. Thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. And our call-in number is 781-837-4900. And you could also Check out the Odyssey app. If you're like my daughter Ann in California, you've already downloaded the Odyssey app and you're listening to Dad, and I invite our listeners to also download that Odyssey app. We are expecting a phone call from a very special guest, Joey from the neighborhood. He'll be calling in very shortly. And another shout out really to the WATD staff at that holiday Christmas party last week. I met so many wonderful people, and I got to see Mr. Ed Perry, and congratulations on 46 years of owning and running this great radio station, but also a belated happy birthday to Mr. Perry. And Rob Hackler, Jackie McGoodwin, Beth Foster, Dave Cedrone, I got to meet, and it was really just a fun time, and I thank them for being so welcome.
47 years, by the way.
47
years
wow.
this year, yes.
Should we start planning the 50th?
I maybe, yeah.
Why not? How about if we put that on a Paul Ponders moment? How does that sound?
Okay, sure.
Alrighty, we'll ponder that. We'll work on starting that. But I guess we have a call-in. Who do we have on the line?
We have the one and only Joey Voices.
Joey Voices.
Yes. How you doing? A.K.A. Joey from the neighborhood. How you doing, Paul? How are you?
I'm doing well, Joey. How are you today?
Good. We got a big show tonight up in Malden at the Pearl Street Station Restaurant. And it's almost sold out. We got a couple of seats left because we had a couple of people back out today. We had about 4 people that couldn't make it. So we got 4 seats opened up. If anybody wants to buy them, they can go to Eventbrite, or they could call you. You might be able to help them too, Paul, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to give me a call at 617-240-4130, that's my cell number. I'm happy to take that information and also do it in a reservation for Pearl Street Station Restaurant.
That's right. So I know we have at least those 4. I think there might be a couple more. So anybody who wants tickets, if you want them, you should call right now. It's going to be a fantastic show. We got 3 great comedians, actually 4. Mike Vaselli, my partner, who's the MC comedian, he's tying the whole show together. But we got 3 other comics. Jody Sloan, the headliner, Sean O'Brien Jr., very funny, dry. His sense of humor is incredible. It's so unique. And then we got Nolan Baker. We're debuting a new comic. This kid's very funny, and he's going to be opening the show. So, and then there's me, of course, at the end. I close it out. So it's going to be a chock full of Christmas extravaganza tonight. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sure it will. Do you have any Christmas voices you're going to be doing?
Of course I do. Of course I do. We got a little Burl Ives.
Burl
little
Ives.
Jimmy Durante.
All righty.
Tumpity tump tump. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. We got a little Jimmy Durante jumping off.
I
love
love
it.
it.
Frosty the Snowman. Frosty the Snowman was a jolly, happy soul with a corncob pipe and a puttin' nose and 2 eyes made out of gold. And we got a little Burl Ives coming. I'm not going to give the Burl Ives away, though. And Bobby Helm.
Oh.
We got him, too.
Tim,
good night.
Oh, Tim is behind the glass saying, no.
I wanted to hear Burl Ives, but I guess you got to go to the
I
show.
can't do the Burl Ives. I can't give it away.
All
You're
right.
have to come and see. You got to buy a ticket.
Can you give us a little Bobby Helms?
Just got to give a teaser. Bobby Helms, too. Yeah, he'll be there, too. Yeah. Jingle Bell Rock.
I love it.
Yeah, and the Holly Jolly Christmas.
Wow.
All the greats that everybody loves, you know?
Absolutely. And, of course, you'll have your showstoppers of, you'll probably have Cher, maybe Rod Stewart.
Yeah, I'll have Cher, Rod Stewart, and I also got a couple of new jokes that I'm debuting, so that should be pretty cool. Always trying to add something new to the show, you know, but it's you keep the nucleus of the show there because people love the Neil Diamond and the Tom Jones. They love all the stuff they can sing along to, you know?
Very good, very good. I'll throw one out. My daughter asked me, Dad, where does the snowman keep his money? I said, where? She said, a snowbank.
I like that. How old is she, 12?
She's
that sounds like a 12-year-old joke. That's
exactly. She's really she's really sharp. She loves the puns like Dad. But
yeah, me too.
Absolutely. Well, Joey from the neighborhood, we are going to have you on future shows, and maybe if you want to give our audience a quick tease, if you will, on the Extraordinary Muffins, the cupcake story.
Oh, that story's fantastic because, it's about believing in yourself. And a lot of times when given circumstances, I grew up in a house where I was the youngest of 8 kids, and I was living in the shadows of my father, who was a stud quarterback from Walden High School in 1955, a big-time prominent lawyer, politician, and he had 8 kids. All my brothers and sisters were fantastic athletes, all-stars and MVPs on their teams. Here I come, the youngest in the family, an afterthought, if you will, and here I got to live up to all of this. And that bred a lot of insecurity in me as a kid, and I was a skinny little kid, too. And I was afraid of all the older and the bigger kids, and I got picked on at school, and I got picked on at home by some of my brothers and sisters, so I would take that into school, and it was just a friggin' nightmare growing up. But I mean, it was good. I wouldn't change anything, but going through it, it was just, you lived with a lot of insecurity, and you lived with fear from, oh, geez, if I get into a fight and I lose, I got to answer to my brothers, and they're going to think I'm a wimp, and all this stuff that you got in your head. Well, I ended up having to fight the toughest kid in the school, who just happened to know how to box. He was a boxer. His father taught him how to box. He put him in boxing classes, taught the kid how to fight. I couldn't even throw a punch. I had to fight this kid, and the story, you got to come and hear the story. It's a really good story how it ends up, and how my mother got involved with me, not involved in the fight, but involved with giving me the courage to stand up to the kid. It's a really good story. So if you come tonight, you'll hear that story. It's called Extraordinary Muffins, the cupcake story. It's very charming, very inspirational, and it's about coming to believe in yourself for the first time as a kid.
That's tremendous. And also, too, one other thing that I forgot to mention, and shame on me, but some of the members of the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame Massachusetts chapter are selling tickets, and they're going to be doing a 50-50 raffle on this evening.
Oh, great.
But you've had the opportunity to, in fact, perform in front of the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame at banquets. You've actually delivered the invocation, because you are an ordained minister as well. And
I'm not an ordained minister, but I have a Master of Theology.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, Master.
That's okay. That's all right.
I should remember that.
I could be an ordained minister, but
you could be. Absolutely.
I have the credentials for it, but I'm not.
Absolutely, and I should have remembered that from your delightful book, Good Things Are Supposed to Happen to You. And if you maybe just want to let our listeners know about that book, Good Things Are Supposed to Happen to You.
It's a really good book. It's about the law of attraction, how God created the human mind, and how we have more control over what happens to us than we realize based on our thought patterns. If all you got to do is look at the results of your life right now to date, and you can trace them right back to your fault patterns. If you have a good, positive life, a lot of good things in your life, it's because you're probably a positive thinking person, and you put a lot of positive energy out there, which are seeds, really, and those seeds come back. You get a bountiful harvest. And if you're a negative person and you have a hard time believing that good things are supposed to happen to you, then your results of your life are probably not as desirable as you would like them to be. But the good news is you can change that. And I teach you how to do that in my book. Good Things Are Supposed to Happen to You. You can find it on Amazon. And as far as the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame goes, I had a hand in helping raise $150,000+ towards the Tony DeMarco statue in the North End.
Yep.
Because I was the entertainment that night for his fundraiser to raise the money for that statue. And I was also asked after that by Tony personally to narrate his book, the audio version of his book, Nardo, based on the life story of Leonardo Liotta, which is a.k.a. Tony DeMarco, the welterweight champion of the world in 1955. That was an honor and a privilege for me to be part of that. So that was probably it's one of the biggest stories of my career as far as I'm concerned, because Tony was such a wonderful guy, and he everything that everybody did for him, all the members of the board, including Bill Spadafora and yourself, and and everybody that was on that board, that I can't think of off the top of my head, but that had a hand in raising all that money toward that statue. I give a big applause for all of those people involved because they worked very hard to do that. So, and Dave Chiazzo and Rico Petrocelli, who ended up writing the foreword for my book, by the way.
That's right.
I was honored to be a part of that statue and raising the money for that statue and then narrating his life documentary. So thank you for helping that and making that happen, Paul.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure, and to past President Bill Spadafora, but also to the Privatera family who made a tremendous lead gift.
Bill and Frank Privatera, yep.
Tremendous
donated
humanitarians.
$150,000, right?
I believe so.
He donated $150,000 towards that. He told me. Frank himself told me that. Yeah,
absolutely. And if anyone has a chance to see the statue of the champ right outside the former Mother Anna's, right off the Greenway, and come Celtics and Bruins playoff times, many fans will in fact just go over and put a Bruins shirt or a Celtics jersey on there on the champ, with that left lead, sticking out, But Joey Voices, I want to thank you for being on. Look forward to seeing you tonight at Pearl Street Station Restaurant. And
hey, I'll tell you, maybe tonight I'll get some respect. I'll tell you. Yeah, maybe I'll get some respect at Pearl Street.
Absolutely. You got it. Well, look forward to seeing you tonight. Thank you.
I'll see you tonight, Paul. I love you guys, and God bless you all. Merry Christmas to everybody.
God bless. Thank you, Joey.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yep, bye-bye.
Thank you. We were hoping to hear from the car guy, but I guess he is busy selling a few cars and trying to find enough gift wrap to put the car under the tree for the lucky recipient. So we'll hopefully have the car guy on next week. But now I think it's time for a commercial break. Thank you.
Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Bennekeesit Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you. Have you tried Brianville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
Well, thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. Again, the call-in number is 781-837-4900. And check out the Odyssey app to download the radio station and lots of other great radio stations on that. And we're building out the show with various segments, and it's working out really well so far, and looking forward to a great 2025. And one of the segments that we have coming up is going to be called the Financial Wing of Olympic Proportion. Part of the segment is going to be with U.S. Olympian, former Bruins hockey player Dave Jensen, who's Senior Loan Officer for Riverworks Credit Union. But I also have my dear friend Hank Morse, Vice President of Communications of Cabot Risk Strategies, LLC. Hank Morse?
Hi, Paul.
How are you?
I am doing very well. Happy holidays. I am thrilled. I looked outside. There's a lot of snow out there, and it covers up my ugly yard. So,
I love it. I love it. Well, down here in Marshfield, we really don't have any snow.
I'm surprised. We got 4 to 5 inches yesterday. Nobody likes snow, except for me. I like the snow.
Absolutely. Yeah, I talked about, I don't know if you heard the beginning part of the show, but I talked about that all-important rain snow line and the Zakin Bridge. And I'll tell you, it's amazing, 4 or 5 inches of snow, and I was anticipating, just driving into all sorts of snow and slush. But anyways, it's really great to have you on.
You know what's odd? I grew up in Medford, and my parents, lived in Medford for many years. Then they moved to Stoneham, and they were probably a quarter mile from Route 128.
Yep.
And it's amazing how you could go 2 miles, and in Medford we get 4 inches, and they would get 7 inches. We got 8 inches, they would get 12. That 128 line, and I know it's the same thing on the South Shore, and probably more difficult the closer you get to the coast, right?
Right, exactly. As Mark Twain said, and maybe it was Samuel Clemens at the time, if you don't like the weather in New England, wait a minute, it will change, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. So what have you been doing for Cabot Risk Strategies?
I've been there, I'm coming up on 2 years in a week or two, and I started out as the Vice President of Communications, so I would handle everything from, we have a couple of different websites, CabotRisk.com, and any communication, like we send out letters to all different clients, whether they're commercial clients, personal lines clients, whether they're employee benefits clients. We send all kinds of communication. So I would oversee that, and I'd do the collateral, and then I did a lot of stuff in the community. We have something called Cabot Cares, where we get out into the community and we do things in the community that we serve. We volunteer. So I would organize some of those things, like Pine Street Inn, Rosie's Place, and some of those places. And then I would promote our product, whether it was on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even TikTok, right? And it evolved. I had a lot of background in sales. I did radio sales. I was on the air for all those years, but I was also selling radio time. So after about 8 or 9 months, I kind of got involved in the sales process. So I managed the commercial sales side.
Okay.
So, anything that has to do, if you're a business and you have anything, you need liability coverage, you need property coverage, big cyber insurance is huge, right? Directors and officers, errors and omissions, all these different types of coverage. So I manage that stuff. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. The world of risk management is exciting every day.
Absolutely. In years past, I was licensed in insurance with property and casualty, life, accident, and health, and I had my securities license. And it's just something where dealing with the client was what it was all about, and just making sure that people have that chain, that tight chain around their lives. And it's important to have a firm like yours out there protecting people.
It's funny, and I'll say this because up until I started here a couple of years ago, I wasn't somebody who thought like that. Check your policies. I never checked my policy. When I started Cabot, I checked my homeowner's policy. I was woefully underinsured. There's actually an odd statistic that was out last year that said about 67% of homeowners are underinsured by an average of 22%. Now, some policies have the language written right into them, so with inflation guard, it'll adjust the policy with it, but not all of them. Okay? So you really have to look at the fine print. Also, on the average homeowner's policy, flooding isn't included. Right? Flood insurance, that's something extra. Unfortunately, people don't think about it. They go, oh, yeah, if there's a flood. But there are some circumstances, if you have a pipe burst, where there'll be coverage. But if there's a catastrophic event, there's flooding in your home, unless you have the proper insurance coverage, you're not covered. So this isn't me trying to pitch our products. This is me just telling you, as a homeowner or a renter, and even if your automobile policies, take a look at what's on there. So many people, they don't think they're going to get into an accident. They get into an accident, and they need substitute transportation. They go, oh, I didn't have rental coverage. It's cheap, right? That will pay for 2 weeks or a month. So all these little things I never thought about, I think about them now.
Interesting.
My wife is on the couch, and she's rolling her eyes, and she says, yeah, you don't think about much. That's what she's thinking when she's listening to me. Why did it take you nearly 58 years to start thinking about these things? True, most people start thinking about them when they're a little more responsible in their early 20s. I'm just a late bloomer, Paul.
Well, it's one of those aha moments that we have. And please say hi to Pam and the girls if they're around for me. Look forward to seeing them in the near future.
I will. They're always excited when they hear your name. And I mean, let's face it. I don't know. I know you know a lot of people on the South Shore, but you're a bon vivant on the North Shore. Everybody north of the Zakim Bridge has a good Paul Solano interaction, a good Paul Solano story.
Well,
I mean, you and I probably met 35 years ago playing softball with members of Extreme, your friends from Extreme.
Yes, exactly. Gary Sharon and Paul Gary. Yeah, absolutely. It was, and ever since then, you've been a really great friend, and I look forward to having you on this segment of the financial wing of Olympic Proportion, and you and Dave Jensen will be on at various times. Maybe together we'll see how all that plays out in 2025.
Well, don't put my resume side by side. His is much more impressive than I am. I've never been an Olympian, but I'm an Olympic fan. I watched him.
There you go. I love it. Well, Hank Morse, one thing you taught me through the years when you used to have me in studio on your show and shows you've been affiliated with through the years is you have to stick to the
I remember
script.
you coming on the Lauren and Wally show.
Absolutely, without a doubt. It was a lot of fun. It really was. But I look forward to seeing you soon, my friend, and I want to wish you and the family a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday Season, and thanks for being on today.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. If anybody wants to get a hold of me, they can log on to our website. It's CabotRisk.com. We're in Woburn. We have offices. We have one in Medford. We have one in Billerica. We serve New England. We serve the United States. And if you want to send me an email, it's hank.morse, M-O-R-S-E, at CabotRisk.com.
That's fabulous.
Happy holidays, Paul.
You got it, my friend. Be well, okay? We'll talk to you soon, okay? Thank you.
All right. Stay warm.
Bye-bye now. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Well, so that's one segment that we're rolling out as part of the Paul Ponders podcast, and thanks again to Hank, just a true gentleman, and we played the 6 degrees of Paul, 6 degrees of Hank, and we throw in Dave Boyle, Arthur Boyle, and Michael Boyle, and we know a lot of people. But we are spreading out into the South Shore area, and it's really great to have you listening to us. Again, the call-in number is 781-837-4900, and you could also find us on the Odyssey app. Now, we are going to, let me just give a brief intro for the next segment, and it's going to be the Pod Pro Entertainment Techie Toolbox segment with Techie Talonzo Amos. And Shelley Wolf, an associate, will in fact be on in future weeks as well. She's a global media firm owner of Toolbox Entertainment. So looks like we have Techie Talonzo Amos. Nope, we don't have him.
Bob Hildberg's on the line.
Oh, Bob Hildberg. Well, Bob Hildberg is on the line. Bob, if you don't mind staying on hold, you're going to be on the next segment. But we have we hopefully have Talonzo calling in, and Talonzo is the producer of my Paul Ponders podcast. And if you ever want to reach out to me, just reach out to me at paul@paulponders.com. So Talonzo is on line one. Talonzo.
Paul, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you, my friend. Hashtag indeed.
Hashtag splendid. First of all, Paul, I want to congratulate you on your third show of Paul Ponders on WATD. So your third of many more to come. Congratulations, brother. This is something that you have certainly earned.
Thank you, my friend. Well, I have your spirit and inspiration too, and you really keep me in line and in tune with what needs to be done through your company of Pod Pro Entertainment. So if you want to let our listeners know what Pod Pro Entertainment is all about.
Pod Pro Entertainment is a network of podcasts that educates and informs and entertainment and stuff. So we have, I should say, 3 podcasts in this network, but looking to add to that network, we have the Career Guru, which is Steve Yanofsky from the Boston Institute Career. We have, of course, Paul Ponders, and we have Save as Ability with David D'Argento. So again, Pod Pro Entertainment, network of podcasts, and we are looking to grow, and looks like we're going to have a couple more podcasts to add to the network within the next year of 2025.
That's fabulous. That is awesome. And also, too, as part of this segment, the Pod Pro Entertainment Techie Toolbox segment, we're going to be incorporating an associate of ours, and her name is Shelley Wolf.
Yes, I am going to give the tech tip today, and then I go off into my basketball season. As you know, Paul, I coach in one league. I referee in another league. Matter of fact, Arthur Boyle of the Boiling Point, he actually teased us a couple of episodes ago how we used to coach up against each other in this league, the Malden Neighborhood Basketball League. So you had me for this week, Paul, but then for the next 12 weeks, you're going to have my colleague, Shelley Wolf, with these techie tech tips. And who knows, after she does a 12-week run, your listeners will probably want her to stay, and I'll go by the wayside. But it's all good as long as we get the technical tips out there. Doesn't matter who's providing them, as long as they are being provided.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Hashtag indeed. So what is the tip for this week, my friend?
So the tip of this week is squish the fish. Yeah, you heard me right. No, I am not talking about the Miami Dolphins. I'm talking about fish spelled P-H, P-H-I-S-H. And it's basically email scams. So squish the fish, staying safe from email scams, okay? Recognizing phishing emails. These are scams designed to trick you into sharing personal information like your passwords or financial details. Phishing emails are sneaky emails. They look like they're really legit. But with a couple of tips, Paul, you and your listeners can spot these fish emails, these fishy, and it smells fishy too, before they cause any trouble. So what to do? Look for spelling and grammar errors. Phishing emails often have phrasing, typos, bad grammar, whatever. So if it looks bad, it is bad. Number 2, check the sender's email address. All you have to do is just click on the sender's name and view the actual email address. If it's ransom or doesn't match the official domain name, be cautious. Another tip, hover over links before clicking. Place your mouse over the link and see where it leads. Usually it's shown at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Avoid mismatched URLs. Basically, URLs, Paul, as you know, is email addresses or website addresses. As at paulponders.com, that's a URL, okay? Beware of urgent or threatening languages. Scammers usually create panic with phrases like act now or your account will be closed. Don't fall for the rush. Don't rush. Take your time. Avoid clicking on unknown attachments, okay? These attachments can contain viruses or malware. If you don't know who the sender is, just delete it. And finally, verify the senders through official channels. If an email claims to be from a bank or a company, call them using verified number, okay? Normally, a bank or a company will not email you if there's a problem. They will call you if there's a problem, okay? So there are several tips, I believe 6 of them. And if you could remember anything, just if you take anything away from these tips, if it looks suspicious, if you are ever in doubt, just delete it. It's better to be safe than to engage. Hashtag stay alert, stay safe.
I love it. Hashtag indeed. Well,
hashtag splendid.
Absolutely. Techie Talonzo Amos of Pod Pro Entertainment, thank you for being with us, and we look forward to speaking with you in about 12 weeks, but we also look forward to hearing from Shelley Wolf, global media firm owner of Toolbox Entertainment.
Thank you, Paul, for the time, and I just want to wish happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to your listeners out there. And I'll be talking to you at WATD in 2025.
Looking forward to it. Hashtag indeed, my friend.
Hashtag splendid.
Awesome. Thank you. Be well now. Thank you. So we're going to lead into the Uplift Provisions Nonprofit Corner of the Week. Now, Uplift Provisions Company of Stoneham, Mass. is keenly focused on giving back to individuals and communities that support them and others on a daily basis. President and founder Rocco Danielli, who we heard from last week, is proud to partner with the Family Restored, a nonprofit organization dedicated to strengthening and supporting families affected by addiction. Now, this week, we welcome Bob Hilberg, Executive Director of GothamWell.org. Bob, thanks for holding.
Awesome. How's it going?
It's going well, thank you. It's going along very well, swimmingly, as they say in the Gotham Whale world. So, many people may know you from being on WATD for many years on various shows, but also from your role as a business coach, but also Patriots historian and author of a couple of books regarding the Patriots. But you have a new role as executive director of Gotham Whale, and will be touting an upcoming event that you have for Gotham Whale. But let us know about Gotham Whale and the event, please.
Absolutely. So I met the founder of Gotham Whale, Paul Swisher Sr., a couple of years ago at the Pearl Street restaurant, actually, with his son, PJ. And I just got inspired by a 70-year-old guy, semi-retired, finding whales in the New York Harbor, and he turned that into just a tremendous goodwill of providing education, research, and advocacy for whales throughout the world, but primarily in the East Coast and all the Atlantic coast, and certainly he was known as the whale guy of New York. And there's a great picture of a whale breaching with the New York skyline, the Manhattan skyline behind it. That's our logo. And the whole idea of this is to be Gotham, be big, be strong, be resilient, and just serve others. So that's what I'm doing now, is trying to elevate everyone that's a volunteer of Gotham Whale and everyone on the board of directors, including you and PJ and Danielle and Kate and Paul Eidman. We got a great team, Chris St. Lawrence and his whole social media team. But we got an event coming up with another tremendous volunteer. Scott Albertson is coming up from Connecticut, and he's going to be working with John Babolian. We're doing a Jazz in the New Year. A little fundraiser about jazz and music and a nice buffet that Pearl Street's putting on. You can get your tickets at Eventbrite, EVENTBRITE, Eventbrite. It's at $60 a person, but we're going to have party hats, we're going to have raffles, we're going to have a little bit of a fundraiser. And actually, I'm going to be there tonight, too, to support Joey Voices and Mikey V. And I'll see you tonight at the Pearl Street restaurant.
That's fabulous.
In Malden, too. So
that's fabulous.
And, Joey Voices, I love his book. I actually helped edit his book, so I've been in Joey's life for a long time, 15 years or so. So it's all about connecting, it's all about serving, it's all about helping other people, and let's bring in the new year the night before, though, December 30th at the Pearl Street restaurant.
That's right, and I will say that some people are saying, we already have plans for New Year's Eve, but au contraire. This is December 30th, the Monday, and this is something Monday night, and it's from 7 to 10 p.m., as you said. And Scott Albertson of Project 142, who is also a sponsor of the Paul Ponders podcast, available on Spotify and YouTube and other streaming outlets, he had tried this in New York for many, many years, and people would get away from Times Square and just listen to some wonderful music, some jazz music and all. And, we hope to have a lot of people there supporting the cause. But also, I hope that Matt from Pembroke is listening. I happened to meet Matt Delaney from Pembroke and his wife, Ramona, at the holiday party last week. And I'll tell you, we had a great chat, and he is the founder of Right Whale Day, which is on April 24th. So I want to be the connector and put you and PJ together with Matt from Pembroke. How does that sound, Mr. Bob?
Absolutely. I've heard about this guy. So, yeah, I know we only have about 20 seconds left, but I'd love to meet everyone. Come on down. It's going to be a fun event, and it's not too late. We're not going to go to midnight. We're going to go to 9:30, 10 o'clock just to have some fun. You get home early, but it's going to be a blast. Scott is just an amazing guy, very entertaining, and I appreciate your friendship and all the years that I've known you, Paul Ponders, Paul Solano, being on your podcast and being on Facebook Live and all that stuff. So you're an inspiration to me, my friend, as well.
Well, ditto, right back at you, my friend. So I have to sign off now, and we will catch up with you tonight at Pearl Street Station Restaurant, my friend.
You got it. Indeed.
Indeed. Hashtag indeed. You got it. Hashtag Gotham Well. Well, I want to thank you all. Stay tuned to WATD for the memories with Ron Dwyer, the grand poobah of oldies rock and roll. You can subscribe to Paul Ponders on Spotify and YouTube or other streaming outlets. Please subscribe and give us some likes. Thanks again to Tim, Arthur Boyle, and our advertisers. But really, thank you, listeners in WATD world and beyond. Keep Paul pondering. Merry Christmas all. Happy holidays. Hashtag indeed.